Yes, we are live. Welcome back, my dear friends. Welcome back to another amazing episode. This is episode number 20 of Zero Point Healing Show. And in this show, we are going to discuss about transforming current life using past lives. And this is the first time we are discussing about past life in the show, and I'm really excited. Okay, I'm hearing myself, so I'm closing that. Okay, so today I have with me Doug, who is a past life regression therapist for over 12 years, and I'm really excited to hear everything that he has to tell about past lives. But before that, just a short intro about me. I'm Vishnupriya, and I am certified in past life regression and many other healing modalities as well. And Zero Point Healing is my passion, is my dream come true project, where I'm bringing in healers and therapists and facilitators who are transforming this world with their gifts. And I'm creating this platform where all of us can get together and join hands. And in this show, I bring in healers to discuss and show their magical powers, and also to give us free healing. And there's also a short healing video towards the end of this particular video as well. All right, so if you are a healer or therapist yourself, please, I welcome you to Zero Point Healing. And if you're interested in giving such an interview with me, feel free to contact me. Okay, with that being said, we are now moving on to Doug. Welcome, Doug. Thank you so much for being with me today. So tell us about yourself and your journey towards past lives.
I will do. First of all, Vishnu, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak here, and also congratulations on Zero Point Healing. I think it's a lovely thing that you're doing, so I hope that goes really, really well for you. You know, with me, I've always been interested in past lives, or I've always believed in past lives without ever growing up in a family that kind of openly discussed it. It was just one of those things which, you know, if ever a topic of conversation came up when I was younger, which of course it rarely did, it was something that I was completely open to. I've kind of always believed in, you know, astrology, the tarot, Reiki, you know, healing in general, without ever kind of really investigating it deeply. And it was only, I guess, about 16, 17 years ago, I'd been traveling I'd given up my job a couple of years prior to that. I'd sold my house, I'd sold my car, I'd finished with the girlfriend at the time, and I'd gone traveling for a couple of years. And when I came back to the UK, I had some ideas, and one of them was that I needed to get my chakras fixed, although I didn't really know what my chakras were at the time. And the other was that I needed to stop smoking. And I'd stopped smoking on and off for 3 months here, 6 weeks there, and I couldn't stop permanently. And I saw an advert in the gym to say, stop smoking with hypnosis. And I thought, right. And off I went, and this is the short version of the story, by the way. And off I went, and I stopped smoking there and then. And my brain went, what happened there? I need to find out what happened there. And as a result, I started studying hypnotherapy. But at the same time, I also started to, I learned how to do Reiki. I did a 2-year course in spiritual healing at a place called the College of Psychic Studies in London. I did courses. I was really opening up to the healing modalities. And I kind of started triggering in myself spontaneous past life experiences, although I had no real understanding of what they were at the time. Like, I had a fear of flying, for example, that kind of got a little bit worse around that time. I was getting drawn geographically towards certain places, and I was meeting lots of people who I now realize, with the advantage of hindsight, I had history with. I had some kind of karmic history with. And so, a long story short, when I did my hypnosis course, I did a short course which got me started. Then I did a longer course. And in the context of the longer course, we did I think it was about half a morning on past life regression. And what they said to us, because they were very clinically orientated, they said, well, we'll teach you about past life regression, but frankly, we don't really believe in it. And if somebody comes to you and says they want it, try and get them to do something else instead of these crazy past life things. And I was like, Anyway, I'd just come back from holiday in Tibet and I had food poisoning. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't so bad that it stopped me going to the course, but, I was feeling very uncomfortable. I was going to the toilet quite a lot during the day. I won't give you the details, but anyway. And we did a past life regression practice in the course that morning. And in the regression that I had, I experienced being a little boy in Tibet, being stabbed through the stomach and dying as a result of that. And after I'd had that experience, everything that was going on with my stomach completely disappeared like that. So I was like, this is interesting. And after that, I started getting more context for the spontaneous past life experiences that I had. So at some point, I read Brian Weiss's book. I read a book by Michael Newton, which I'm sure you know, called The Journey of Souls. And I thought, right, I have to do this. This is when I read Journey of Souls by Michael Newton, I thought, this is the work that I'm here to do. It kind of just clicked and it clarified something in my consciousness. And I went out and I studied regression therapy for a year. And I was getting really, really good results with people. People were getting great remission from their symptoms. And it became my speciality. So that's the brief version.
Thank you so much for briefing it. Yeah, we had a plan of doing this session for 4 days so he can, explain his story completely. But then we were like briefing it. Now we have briefed it to 7 minutes. Thank you so much, Doug. That was amazing. And wow, I think all of this magic and miracles that different healing modalities creates in our life make us believe that, yes, this is what I'm here for. And now tell us about what a past life regression session would look like and what kind of current life issues can the past life change and shift for us?
Yeah. Well, one thing to say is that no two past life sessions are alike. Very often they're completely different, and it really depends. I'm very much issue driven in the sense that whatever issue the person comes along with is generally the way the session will unfold. Sometimes I use hypnosis as a way to get people into a past life. Sometimes whatever they're presenting with in terms of their symptoms will enable me to get them into the past life very, very quickly through other ways of doing it. Generally, it's about however we get into the past life, generally, if I was going to summarize this, it's about finding out the story. And the story needs to relate to why ever they've come to see me that particular day, whatever their reason is for coming. It needs to have some reasonable connection to the story. So we get the story and people will come along, and I'll talk about that in a minute, for all sorts of things, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's relationship stuff is a big thing. And they'll say, I have this going wrong in my life. And so our intention for the session is to find a past life that's at the source of that, whatever it is that's going wrong in their life. And so we'll get the story for that past life, whether they, some people, of course, are very visual when they close their eyes and they see it. Some people have more of a kinesthetic trait. They feel it, and other people know it. Most people are a combination of all of them. However, their imagination guides them into the story is the way they experience it. So we get the story from it. And often what we find is that at the end of that past life is a death, of course, but the death is where we find the soul's unfinished business from that particular life. And that's often, not always, but that's often what really relates to their current life issue. Is something unresolved. It's almost like a song is still playing in the subconscious mind somewhere, and we have to bring the song to a conclusion, or a book is still open in some way in the back of the subconscious mind, and we have to finish the book. So we're going to get to the death point, and we're going to find out often there's a lot of emotion that's unresolved in these past lives, and it's getting the emotion out of people, or helping people to be able to release the emotion, which is really where the healing is. Sometimes there's thoughts, sometimes there's physical stuff, sometimes the energy is stuck in some way at the death point, but we're going to resolve the death point, and then we're going to help them to go on to a place beyond life, beyond death. It really doesn't matter where they go. It's very much in line with their belief system, but we'll generically call it the spirit realm, because that's where a lot of people, or the light, it doesn't matter what we call it, but when we help them to go into the light, there we can do some transformation for the story. That's where we're really getting closure for the story, perhaps with characters, perhaps with situations, perhaps with their emotional stuff, all the stuff we discovered at the death point. We're going to get the story, and then we're going to transform the story, or help them to transform the story. And that really is what will help to bring the healing present into the current life. When we finish that book, when we stop that song playing, that's where the transformation can take place. And you said what sort of things do people seek help for? And really, I mean, it's amazing the vast variety of things that people will come for. I'd love to call myself a specialist in this or that, but the reality is I'm a specialist in helping people to move through where they've got stuck. I get a lot of people who come along for relationship issues. As you can imagine, relationships are one of the biggest things that we have on the planet. Whether it's relationships going wrong, whether it's too many relationships, whether it's no relationships, whatever it might be. I always tell a story when I talk about relationships of a lady who came to me about 10 years ago, and she said, I've been dating the same guy for the past 12 years. Each year, I kind of changed the guy, and he's had a different face. It's a new guy, but essentially it's the same guy. And I've got to stop dating people like this. And then she swore, because I've finished. I've had enough of it. Yeah. And in the past life that we went back to, never entirely sure what period of history you're going back to, but I'm guessing it was about 1800 or something. And she was a lady who'd been left in the church waiting for her husband to turn up, or waiting for the husband to turn up. He was her fiance, or her betrothed, I think she described him as, and he never came. And so she was still subconsciously waiting for that guy to come, because that story had never been finished. So as part of, she died as a lonely woman, as I remember, in that past life. As part of the transformation, of course, we found out what the emotions, the fact she was really still waiting for her. And in the healing part of it, in the light, we brought his energy into that place, and we got closure for that wedding that had never happened. And as a result of that, she stopped dating guys like that. And, within a year, 12, 18 months, something like that, she had a new, very good relationship, which was different to every other relationship she'd had prior to that. And, most people who are watching or listening can imagine variations on that apply to their own life, because we all have relationships that, we might like to do differently, whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's loved ones, whoever it might be. So I'm going to pause talking for a second and take a sip of water while I allow you to regroup.
I'll take that time to ask you the next question. So tell us about, so let's say some of the viewers don't really believe in past lives, for example. So if they want to resolve their issues, is it required that they have to believe in past lives?
No, it's not. It's good to have an open mind around the subject, but are past lives real? And I could make a very good case for them being real. I might need a bit longer on the interview, but I could make a very good case. But equally, I would say they don't have to be. There's a few possible explanations for past lives. Some people say that it's a subconscious mind making up a metaphorical story that is more easily to relate to than addressing something directly in our current life. Some people say it's almost as though we dip into the memory of the collective subconscious, which Carl Jung said is the memories of everyone who ever lived. And it's almost as though we're trying on a suit of clothes to suit the story in our current life. Cynics call it cryptomnesia, where we take the plot of a film that we saw 10 years ago, a book that we read 20 years ago, and subconsciously we piece it together and we call it a past life. Other people say that it's the memory of our DNA, our ancestral memory, that we're regurgitating as a past life. And there's probably some truth to that, because we are a product of our parents' DNA as well as the soul memories. And in fact, there's probably some truth to all of those things. I would say I probably regressed about, I reckon it's close to 5,000 people now. And I've seen all of those things unfold before me. And what I'd say is I've seen a lot of truth. I've seen a lot of past life stories where I could go, yep, yep, yep. I've also seen ones where I go, not so sure about that, but it doesn't necessarily affect the ability of that past life story to change. And a couple of years ago, I had a run of atheists. I had about 10 atheists coming along. They'd all come because they had an issue that they couldn't solve anywhere else. They'd been to the doctor, they'd been to the chiropractor, been to all sorts of people. And as a last resort, somebody had said, go and try regression. And they were like, pah, But anyway, some of them came. And what I said to them is that if you can believe that you have a problem in your life, and they're like, of course, that's why I'm here. I said, that problem is not obvious in the context of your current life. No, that's why I'm still got the problem. So it's sitting in your subconscious. Well, that makes sense. I said, if you can just allow a story to come out of your subconscious without needing to believe in the reality of it in the history book, then we can do some work that will be beneficial to you. And most of them could embrace the idea that there was a story sitting somewhere in the back of their mind which needed changing in some way. So, basically they were open to the possibility of something going on which they couldn't fully understand. And that was, some of them changed their belief system as a result of their experience. Some of them didn't change their belief system, but the point was that they could get changes in their current life out of it simply being open to the possibility of a story that was unresolved.
Wow, I loved those examples as well, and wow, with atheists. But have people who have said that they aren't able to see any past lives. I've heard people say I've done multiple regression sessions and I don't see anything. So how do you deal with it?
Send them to me, because I think it would be a very ambitious statement to say that I believe everybody has had past lives, but I'm going to say that I believe a lot of people on the planet, a very high percentage of people, have a past life history. And generally speaking, when they can't get into a past life, there's a very good reason why. I teach regression as well. On the course we explore in depth the reasons why people can't get into past life. Sometimes it's because they're not deep enough in hypnosis. Sometimes it's because of their belief system. But sometimes as well, it's things like they need to look at the current life actually before they can get into the past life, because there's a current life issue which is actually so pressing that their soul is not going to let them escape it. Sometimes the energy needs clearing around the fact that they can't get into a past life. So, I generally believe that most people who are drawn to the concept of wanting to go through a past life can have a past life experience. Sometimes they need to be a little bit more patient, but me or anyone who's studied with me or anyone who's studied similar courses will generally be able to unlock them. It might not be immediately, but relatively quickly it's solvable. So I'm always interested to hear from people like that, if there are anybody listening, because, you know, it's a possibility. Sometimes it's a question of timing, but more often than not, there's something going on in the subconscious that's stopping them, rather than the fact that they haven't had a past life, and that can be solved.
That is beautiful. So let's now move on to the meditation that we have, and whatever amazing healing that you have for us. Let's get started.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do a past life experience because I can't do anything in 10 minutes. That would be extraordinarily ambitious. So what I'm going to do is a spoken meditation with a little bit of sound healing. One of the other things that I do is I use sound healing as a way of helping people to release energy from the past. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of sound healing, and whoever's listening, I would suggest that you get comfortable at this point, whether you're sitting or lying down. It's only going to be 10 minutes, so you know, don't go to too much trouble, but get yourself in a comfortable place, and whenever you're ready, close your eyes. And take a couple of nice big breaths in and out to begin. And then allow your breathing to come back to normal. And what I'd like you to do is to get a real sense of your body and the space that you're in. Your feet on the floor or wherever they are, and just get a sense of being grounded, being connected to the earth beneath you. Perhaps from your feet, perhaps from your root chakra at the base of your spine. A sense of being grounded. With your breath moving through your body, always helps to, awareness of that always helps to keep you grounded. So be aware of your body, grounded to the earth beneath you, and present in the space that you're in. And then I'd like you to just bring all of your attention to your heart chakra in the middle of your chest. Your heart chakra in the middle of your chest, sometimes portrayed as green, pink. I'd like you to focus all of your attention on that heart chakra. Whether you see it, feel it, sense it, or are simply open to the idea of the heart chakra being in that place in the middle of your chest, you might like to imagine a flower, perhaps pink, perhaps green, a six-petaled flower in that area of your heart chakra. And imagine that flower can just feel the effect of the breath coming into your body. Can feel too the effect of the grounding energy from the earth beneath you, just as all flowers do. They respond to breath. They respond to the energy of the earth. Of course, they also respond to light. So just imagine breathing in the light of the universe into your heart chakra. Breathing in the breath, the energy of the earth beneath you. And get a sense of that flower, that heart chakra, just gently, comfortably expanding. Breathing in the elements, if you like. And allowing the sound to just energize that heart chakra. That heart chakra, that flower in the middle of your chest, can just expand as much as is comfortable for you personally. Allow the sound to just energize that area. That area, of course, is connected to all parts of your energy, to your physical presence, of course. The heart pumps blood, pumps oxygen and other nutrients all around your system. So you can just imagine an amplification, an increase of positive energy flowing all the way through your body, from the top of your head, all the way down to the very tips of your toes, through the muscles, through the bones, through the cells of your body, through the quanta of your energy, all energizing, enlivening, and feeling much, much better. As you continue to breathe the breath of life into your body, hear the sound just expanding and energizing you, and breathing in the grounding energy from the earth and the light from above. You can perhaps say some words silently and mentally to yourself. I'm in the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing. I'm in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. For your soul has chosen to bring you here at this moment in time, doing whatever it is that you're doing, being present to the energy, to the possibility, to the joy of life itself. And in a moment or two, we're going to finish. Before we finish, I just want you to remind yourself that you are in the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing. You are in touch with the wisdom of your soul, which always gets you in the right time, the right place. Even when your personality may be saying no, your soul is always guiding you, getting you to where you need to be. And with the expansion of your heart chakra, you can trust more and more in the wisdom of your soul. To facilitate perfection in your life, so that you can help those around. Now we are going to start to finish. I'd like you to become much more aware of your breath and your body. Become aware of your body and the space that you're in. Become aware of the space around you. Perhaps feeling your feet on the floor, moving your toes, your hands on your legs or wherever they are, and just starting to move your fingers. And start to bring your body more and more alive, bringing all of your energy back to the present moment, coming all the way into the now. And in your own time, and whenever you find an out-breath that's convenient, you can open your eyes and come all the way back into the here and now, into a new moment.
Wow, that was amazing. You are in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Wow, I loved it. Wow, that was amazing. I'm going to do that again for sure.
Good.
Ooh. All right. So tell us a little bit about the courses that you're offering. And I also know you have app and so many different things. I think it'll take another 30 minutes, but let's
Yeah, I have a few things going on, so I'll give you a brief summary. Obviously, like everybody else who's a facilitator at the moment, what I'm doing is online. But I do, when life is unfolding a little bit more normally, I do teach hypnosis and regression therapy, which are my big things. At the moment, I have a course starting on Thursday. Another thing that I do is, obviously what we did was a chakra sound meditation. I have a course coming up called Manifestation Through the Chakras, which is an online course taking place over 7 weeks. Each week we work through a chakra, and the idea is to get your energy system flowing in a much better way, to clear away whatever may be sitting there. So we do a little bit of sound, we do a meditation each week, we talk about the chakra each week, we work through the 7 chakras. And the course is Manifestation Through the Chakras. There'll be a link on my Facebook page, and there's a video on my Facebook page as well. So if anybody's interested in that, that's what I'm doing from Thursday onwards. In about 10 days, probably 2 weeks, I'm going to have a series of videos on my Facebook page and probably a few other places, what are called Talking Past Lives. I'm going to be saying some of the same things in a different way to what I've said today. And the Talking Past Lives series is leading up to a series of Exploring Past Lives, which I'll be doing online in probably about 3.5 weeks, something like that. And that will be advertised on my Facebook page as well, which is called Doug Buckingham Solutions for the Mind, Body and Soul. And I have an app as well, which people can find, called Hypnosis for Transformation. And if there is one thing that is amazing value, it's my app, because it costs 99 pence. 99 pence, 99 English or British pence, I should say. And that's amazing value. There's about, I think, 5 or 6 free tracks that you can get for the 99 pence. And there's also a bunch of other paid stuff. But there's some good stuff on there for very, very little money. And what I'd say to everybody, whether it's my stuff or whether it's other people's stuff, I think this great big cosmic correction that we're all experiencing at the moment is an opportunity to become more aware of our energy, to become more aware of who we are. It's bringing us back into the here and now if we take that opportunity. So whatever you do, wherever you are, take some time to meditate. So if you're new to that, take some time to do some relaxation MP3s. Take some time to be present. Take some time to spend some time in nature. Even if you've only got 1 square meter of garden, use it. Use it well. It's an opportunity. It looks terrible if you look at the news, if you look at this, if you look at that, but there will always be something that comes out of it. It's not cotton wool optimistic thinking. It's an opportunity for humanity to reset. We need to evolve as a species. I think most of us know that. Humanity really had nowhere to go. Now we have the opportunity to become more aware of ourselves as multi-sensory beings, aware of our energy, aware of the effect that that has on our physical reality, and that's what we have the chance to do now.
Wow, what a beautiful ending to that show. Thank you for bringing up that topic. And I think that's the message that people really need to hear as well. And thinking optimistically, everything has a good reason behind it, why it is happening. It is at the right time and it is the right place, as you said. And yes, we can stop the running that we usually are in the treadmill of life and stop and sit and be with ourselves. So that's what we are doing. Thank you so much. And we also have a 10% discount coupon, and the code is 0.ZEROPOINT. You can use that for his course that he mentioned. I'm considering to join myself, by the way. Anything that has to do with, improving our lives, I'm always the first person to invest in it. But anyways, my dear viewers, I hope you really enjoyed that session. It was such a valuable session. And yes, please do check him out. We have his link right below this right below in the comment box, and you can use a coupon code as well. And if you are one of those persons struggling hard doing any kind of past life regression, he's the best person to go to. So thank you. Any final words, Doug?
Well, really just two. Thank you. Perhaps a few more. I really appreciated the opportunity to be here today and to talk a little bit and to do a little bit and just to share a little bit of what I do. So thank you very much for creating this opportunity for me and many other people. I think it's wonderful. I think it's exactly what people should be doing at this moment in time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You are in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Perfect.
Yes, and I was guided by the soul, guided by the divine to do this work at this time. And I really love the sound healing that you provided. This is the first time we have done that. That was amazing, crystal sound healing there. Thank you so much for that as well.
Yeah, it's great. It works really quite well over the internet. So yeah, I've done a few of those for free or donation events over the past few weeks. But now that I have the chakra course coming up, I'm incorporating it as part of the chakra course. So yeah, but I will be doing more of them.
Sure. Thank you so much. With that being said, we are finishing up the show. Thank you, my dear viewers. Click on his link and he has his beautiful app. Check that, and we will provide as many links to his Facebook page and everything, so you can check him out. Thank you, Doug. Thank you. I love you so much, and thanks for everything that you have provided to us today.
Oh, my joy. Thank you, Vishnu.
Bye-bye.